meg. Takk Madeleine, du er med meg. Takk Olivier, du er med meg.
Hi, my name is Mark Irvin. Irvin's my middle name. My last name is Furman, but Mark Irvin is just a simple way of saying who I am. I am paddling what I've coined the Greater Loop. Now, the Great Loop can, for example, begin in New York, and it's a pleasure boat route used by a lot of Americans. But it goes up the Hudson River into the Great Lakes, through some canals in Canada, and then through Lake Huron, and down to Michigan, and they enter the Illinois River in Chicago, which takes them to the Mississippi, and then you can go down to the Ohio River and take that up the Kentucky Lakes and follow the Tennessee and Tombigbee Rivers to Mobile, Alabama. Once you hit the Gulf of Mexico, you basically swing a left and you sail across along the coast of Florida down to Fort Myers, and then you take an inner canal that takes you over to Stewart on the east coast of USA. Then you further take another left and come up to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and all the way back to New York. That's the Great Loop. I am doing, in fact, the Greater Loop. And that means I'm beginning in a kayak in Halifax. Now, I've already finished 9 days of paddling, and now I've got the opportunities to start making a film about this. So I've completed, as I said, 9 days, and I feel like I've lived a life already in 9 days. I've had some amazing experiences and some fantastic scenery. And right now, as you see, I'm sitting in a nice little area, which happens to be my sister's beach house in a place called Cribbins Beach. And fortunately, it was on my route, and I've managed to make it here, which I'm extremely thankful for. And it's howling and raining outside, so I've got around 3 days. Actually going to take a breather, and I'm going to work on some films and some social media and see if I can get this whole thing rolling. But I'm going to show you what I've been through and how it all came about. So let's start from the beginning, and I'll take you there with me, and let's do it. I really hope you follow me and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. But I'm really happy to be out here in the wild, just learning and experiencing things. And there's something fantastic about nature. Nature teaches me so many things, and I want to share these things with you as I go. But most of all you fellow paddlers out there, stay tuned. This is going to be one awesome journey. It's going to take me 1 year to complete, give or take. I don't know how fast I can do this, but I hope that it's going to be a good one. That's all I hope. Okay, let's go. I should have paddled on June 1st, but due to 25-30 knot winds, decided to postpone it. Instead, I just spent the day organizing, talking to Ed and talking to Steve about what's ahead of me and if they had any recommendations. June 2nd, so I set in motion the first day of paddling. And got up at 4:30 in the morning and we were on the water a little bit after 5 o'clock. Steve decided to join me for the first day, and we set out and we paddled around the lighthouse, and then we paddled eastwards along the coast, and we ended up for our first stop in Cow Bay. And I kind of got an idea of what's ahead of me. The east coast of Nova Scotia, it's a treacherous coast, and to get up on this beach, it's just pure rocks. And I'm thankful that it was calm weather. If it wasn't calm weather, I don't know how I would be able to get up on the beach. But it was a nice stop. The legend Steve Chard, how was paddling this morning?
Paddling this morning, a little bit stiff.
A little bit stiff, yeah?
It's taken me 2 hours to loosen up.
Okay.
But the rhythm's coming back.
The rhythm's coming back. Then we paddled further to Terminal Beach and stopped at a place called Half Island Point. And there I did some hiking and took some time off to look at the views and found some interesting fiddlehead ingredients, which is the ingredients of a famous Nova Scotian soup called a fiddlehead soup.
Oh.
In Nova Scotia, one of the delicacies is something called fiddlehead soup. Now, fiddlehead soup, it's very difficult to find these places and find the fiddleheads. It's like, I have a good cantarelle mushroom place. You don't want to tell anybody about it. But I've been looking, and I really, really want to taste fiddlehead soup before I leave Nova Scotia. And I have a feeling you don't have to cook them. I think you could eat them raw. If I get sick tonight, I know why. Fiddlehead soup, Nova Scotia. Okay.
After that, we kayaked all the way to a place called Seaforth, and there I kind of, ended for the day. It was a long day. It was 35 kilometers the first day, and it felt good to be getting out there again.
Final words before we sign off from day one?
Final words? Be safe. The Atlantic is a rough place, and I think I'll settle down when I actually enter the Rideau Canal. Then I'll feel that I can take it a bit easy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll find it easy when you get to the Ottawa River. Before you even get to the Rideau Canal, paddling up the Ottawa River after the Hawkesbury Dam.
Okay, this is a looming fog bank out in the distance. The sun doesn't even penetrate it when it was rising up. And I've got to make it to this island over here, and I hope that I can do it. But I have a compass, so that will help. I paddled some 55 kilometers. By the time I got to North Cove, I was extremely exhausted. Fortunately, the fog banks have rolled right out towards Ireland, and Ireland, you can have them.
Well, they seem to be very good quality. I mean, you just normally look at the edges when somebody's doing carbon fiber,
Yeah.
and if there's a line, then you can see that the lamination that they've done is kind of odd.
So, but do you think it's good quality?
Yeah, this is decent quality. It's got a obviously it's a good foam core. They're using a Lendal clamp, so that's good. I could do a little bit more better finishing work here, but I mean, I'm comparing this to a Lars Graham paddle, and the Lars Graham paddles are bloody amazing.
Yeah. And Varner, what a great guy. He cooked up some burgers and chicken, and we had a great barbecue, and we talked a lot about kayaking and what the coastline was like and which route I should take the day after. I decided to take a break for one day to let the muscles recuperate after basically paddling close to 100 kilometers in 2 days without I haven't trained a lot during the winter, so I feel it in my muscles. But Norse Cove is a nice camping place and a great place for kayakers who want to go use that as a point where they can begin their tours, whether it's to local islands, beautiful sandy beaches. You have to just kayak around 10 kilometers and you come to just beautiful places. June 5th was my third day paddling. I left Norse Cove around 5 o'clock in the morning and made my way towards Phoenix Island and then over towards Sober Island. I crossed the Beaver Harbor by Port Dufferin, and I camped on the tip of Quoddy Harbor. It was an excellent day, putting in some 40 kilometers again. The big blue house. I wonder who lives there. Look at this lobster claw. I wouldn't exactly say it's small, but that could probably rip off your finger without a doubt. But Nova Scotia, long live Nova Scotia. This morning I started at around Port Dufferin. I made my way to Herringen Cove, and I'm way out there now. Wow, I found a place to eat breakfast. I usually get up and paddle around 15 to 20 kilometers before breakfast. I just want to get out there and paddle. Now I found a really nice little spot. Little island is probably not here when it's high tide, but it's absolutely perfect for me, and what a fantastic place this is. Wow, impressed. Ed, up in Halifax Kayak, he said that these little buds here, they actually have aloe vera qualities in them. So I'm gonna bite the tip off and see if it helps, because I'm a bit sunburned on my face actually.
Okay, so squeeze it out, get it all over. As long as it doesn't attract more sun, I'll be happy. Oh, see. I hope I got this. Okay. Now I'm paddling between two islands. The water's really low tide, and there's a bit of a current through here as the tide goes out and in. And I found mussel shells. So I've picked around 15 mussel shells, and I put them up in my my gloves, and I'm gonna eat them tonight. Hopefully no red tide, but I'll gamble it. I've been sick before. Bon voyage.
I paddled further to a place called Cape Gagogon, and I ended up coming onto the beach, and there was these two white dogs who were barking ferociously. And I got out of my kayak and I went up to the house, and I was met by a man called Brian, spelt with a Y. And he was a bit skeptic to what was happening because he'd never seen his dogs barking like this. But I had all the, the dry suit, and the skirt was flapping in the wind, and I think the dogs were a bit rattled. Anyways, to make a long story short, Brian invited me into his house and said I could sleep downstairs in the basement. And I said, well, I'll make you supper. So we made a great supper of shells and pasta and different types of vegetables. And later that evening, his mother-in-law came over, and we were able to watch the hockey game. I haven't seen a full hockey game now since 34 years since I left Canada. So it was fun, and afterwards we were able to enjoy some time in the hot tub. Brian's a really, really nice guy, and smart guy. A lot of time, in mechanical engineering with Air Canada.
Yeah. What makes you happy?
My wife of 32 years, the family that I have, my children.
Yeah.
The fact that I can live here without any really worries. I can be self-sufficient out here.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry if the world is going to fall to pieces or a zombie apocalypse comes. I'm good.
Good. And that freedom, that's what makes you happy.
Freedom does make me happy.
Yeah.
I just wish I had the freedom to travel.
Yeah.
My fifth day of paddling on June 7th was a really great day. Calm waters and very easy to kayak. The way I passed Indian Harbor, Fisherman's Harbor, Goose Island, pulled up on a beach, and a truck stop, and a guy called Nathaniel asked me what I was doing. And I asked him if it's okay if I camped on the beach, and he's a lobster fisherman, and he was staying right there in the cabin, so he invited me in for some burgers afterwards, and we talked about lobster fishing, and it was just great. He's a really nice guy. Writer Thoreau said this. He said, "I went into the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could learn what it had to teach and not. And when I came to die, discover that I had not lived." I could probably change those words to, I went into the sea because I wished to live deliberately. When you ask me why I do what I do, I'm finding that nature teaches me a lot of things. It teaches me how to live. It enables me to rethink life, and just to be alone paddling, it's fantastic. And yeah, you're alone, and yes, you do get lonely, but at the same time, it opens up a world of deliberations. You think about your life, you think about the comforts you have at home that you take for granted, and I want to learn. I'm not giving up when it concerns living and learning. I hope I never give up on that.